Oh, it's chilly this morning. It's only 1 degree. You would not think that we were in June and what I guess is classed as the British summertime. There's a very eerie sound in the air this morning as well. It's very calm, very still, and like I say, pretty wintry. So I'm not sure how this morning's gonna go, but it's beautiful nevertheless. And there's even a very slight covering of frost on the ground. It is so still and calm this morning, but I haven't seen the sea yet. And all I can hear is this booming sound, the sheer force of waves crashing into shore. I'm quite excited but apprehensive at the same time about what I'm going to be greeted with over this hill. Because it's so still this morning, that booming and pounding of the waves against the shore are echoing all around me. So loud. So I'm sure many of you can see that I have come back to my local beach. This is the 3rd week in a row that I've got up early and come here for sunrise. Obviously the places we're allowed to go at the moment are still very restricted, but I think it's so good to come back to the same location time and time again. In fact, when I started photography, I just used to photograph the beach and the village I grew up with many nights a week. I never really used to go anywhere else, and I actually learned a lot from going back to that same location time and time again. It especially helped me learn a lot about the lights and how different light conditions can result in different photographs, and especially at the coast it also taught me how, depending on where the tide is in and out, how different and diverse your images can be. So if you've been watching this channel, you'll know 2 weeks ago when I came here, it was a beautiful, calm, crisp, clear morning. I took this image here of the sun rising over the sea. Not the most exciting image, but very tranquil and serene. And I also took this image here, which I really liked. It had the lovely post-sunrise light over the dunes and the grass, with an interesting leading line with a path going through it. And last week I returned here bright and early again, and although it began as a crisp and clear morning, we ended up with a fog coming over the beach and resulting in this very dramatic photograph here, as well as a photograph I took just before that of this leading line going into the sea. So I've come back again this morning, unsure what to expect, and again the conditions are different. We've got surging waves this morning. They're not quite as big as I was expecting at the sounds that I was getting from coming from the car park, but nevertheless we have waves this morning, which we never had the previous 2 times I was here. It was very calm and tranquil. The tide is in, which is a bit frustrating in some ways because I won't have those interesting pools of water and potential leading lines that I had last week. But because it is such a calm morning this morning, I'm hoping that when the sun does pop above the horizon that it'll cast beautiful gold light on the grasses again, and we'll hopefully get a completely different image yet again with a completely different feel. And I'll be able to showcase how coming back to the same location time and time again is great, because you can go home with a complete difference and diversity of images. Rising nicely behind me, and I hope you can hear me, because as I say, the sea sounds so incredibly loud this morning. It's quite, yeah, it's strange. It's just surging into shore. I'm trying to keep things a little bit more simple this morning, I suppose. What I'm noticing is where the sun is rising, there's no clouds, and although we've got a nice ball and a nice sunrise and it's nice and pretty, I'm finding what I'm trying to do is, because like I said there's no interest in the clouds above the sunrise, I'm turning 180 degrees and shooting in this direction. My hope is that the sunrise light will light up the sand dunes and the marram grass in front of me and give me some nice golden light on them. We've also got some interesting clouds as well over here that are lighting up a slight pinky colour, which is just beautiful. So looking for where those colours are and trying to adapt that into the photography is probably the best way forward in this sort of morning and situation. Though having said that, the sunrise now is beautiful, so I might take a few very quick snaps of that with the waves surging into the shore and then turn my attention back to this image that I was planning on taking. Yeah, it's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But yeah, just look around you. Great tip. Even though the sunrise or sunset may be happening over there, look around you, because the opportunities behind you might actually be a little bit nicer and give you more opportunities. Beautiful morning. So that image that you just saw me take is an image that I've tried to take in various locations along this beach. Since I sort of moved here, I kind of like the idea of the sand dune acting as a natural leading line, and I quite like the way that it sweeps around and almost like cuddles the beach on the side of the photograph, giving a nice sort of circular vantage point going into the town or into this direction. It's just an image I've taken a few times, and you probably will have seen that last year when I photographed the sort of almost exactly the same image but from over there, actually at the town itself, looking back in this direction. But it's an image that I've never been able to take that I've been fully satisfied with, and I'm not 100% sure why. I'm not sure whether it's because the curvature itself isn't a complete straight line, which in some ways is nice because we're in nature and nothing is perfect, but there's just something about the images I've taken of this curvature that I've never been 100% happy with. But that was a good, I suppose, example of how I'm trying to utilise the conditions this morning. Like I say, no nice clouds at the actual sunrise, so you've got to look around you and work out where the light's going to cast, and especially mornings like this when it is very clear and there's no clouds in the sky where the sun is rising, you do get that lovely orange and yellow light on the land, which is really nice at bringing out those highlights and contrast and really allowing your scene to pop. So it's just an image to think about if you're out shooting the sunrise, and especially if you come out on a morning like this and maybe you expect or want those clouds but you don't have them. There's so many other opportunities out there. I've just come now to a little path that I'm sort of walking along as I'm trying to find another composition, and I was trying to use this path as a nice leading line into the sunrise itself, but the sunrise light is still incredibly harsh right now, and even using ND filters or bracketed exposures, it's still the sort of the range between the highlights and the shadows were just too much, and the image just wasn't looking great. And then we've got this sort of mishmash in the centre of the image where the horizon is meeting the grass, which has just got this sort of not very nice shadow area. So I've decided against taking that photograph because it just isn't going to work. So I'm just going to walk around now, I suppose, and enjoy this. We've got some nice, interesting mounds over here where the sand dunes are and the grasses with nice light on them, and we've still got interesting cloud in the opposite direction. But yeah, for me this morning I think it's more about a chilled morning, walking around this location and seeing what happens. Because I've been here 3 weeks in a row, I'm not pressurising myself to get any images, but like I said, I wanted to showcase this morning that you can come to a location millions of times and go away with completely different images, because it all depends on what the light's doing. And I think this morning's really showcasing that, because it's such a contrast to the very dramatic light that I had here last week. This morning for me is, I feel like I've got a bit of photographer's block, or you know those mornings or those times you go out with your camera and although there's a lot of photography opportunities around you, it's not that I don't want to take images this morning, I just am quite enjoying being here and just immersing myself in the elements and the scene around me without feeling the need to take loads of photographs. I think that's one of the joys about finding somewhere local or somewhere that you can return to time and time again. It takes away that pressure. You know, when you go away on these big photography expeditions or holidays that you've dreamt about for years, obviously the adrenaline and the buzz of it all is really exciting, but because you are only in these locations for a short space of time, I guess you can feel more pressure to get the photographs because you've invested so much time, energy and money getting to these places that you want to go home with beautiful images. But the great thing about shooting somewhere local and somewhere that you can come back to week in, week out, like I am here on this local beach of mine, it means that you have that freedom to come here and not feel under pressure. And like I say, it's not that I don't want to take images this morning, I am just enjoying being here. I'm really enjoying being up early, being the only person on this beach and just admiring the views around me. I'm reasonably happy with that image that I got when I first arrived, but rather than enjoying or photographing the best of this light that we've got just now, I'm really just enjoying sitting here, watching the sea coming into shore and just relaxing. I think too often we put ourselves under pressure to get images when we're out, but if you return to the same location time and time again, one of those times you come out you're going to go home with amazing images that you're happy with, but there'll be times you just want to come, sit down and immerse yourself in the scene, and that's okay. Allow yourself that, because that's where the true beauty of being outdoors comes from. It's about enjoying it. If you want to take photographs, take photographs. If you don't, just enjoy the view, because it's so beautiful. Sunrise shoot may not have been the most successful photography wise, but I guess it gives me a chance to reiterate a few things about my channel and the whole meaning behind this. You see, a lot of people believe that my channel is 100% about photography, but I've always liked to showcase the fact that my channel is a good mix of photography, getting out into nature, enjoying Scotland, learning about its history, its heritage and its nature. And mornings like this kind of remind me of that. I came out here to try and photograph the sunrise, but I actually, when I look more deeper into it, I didn't come here to photograph the sunrise. I came here to get up early, to watch the sunrise and to enjoy the experience of being out. Photography for me has always been a way to help me connect with nature, to connect with my home country and to learn more about it. And mornings like this remind me of that. It reminds me of how important it is sometimes to just come out and just enjoy being out. Now, I enjoy photography immensely, and that's why I do it. It's a great creative outlet and it's something that I really enjoy. But I also find that a lot of us put a lot of pressure on ourselves when we're out with our cameras to get images. But it shouldn't be about the image, it should be about the experience. And the experience of being here this morning has been second to none. It's been truly, truly beautiful. So I just wanted to end this video with the sort of thoughts to you guys of when you're out with your camera, just enjoy the experience. Even if you're greeted with beautiful conditions, sometimes you're not going to have the drive to take images, but just enjoying what's going on around you is so rewarding, and in many ways you could say is even more beneficial, because you go home with a real buzz of just having enjoyed the experience. I regularly get comments on my videos saying that I've missed compositions, I've missed photographic opportunities, I should be taking a lot more photographs. But the thing is, this is my photography journey, just like you're on your own photography journey. And if you're somebody who loves taking hundreds of photographs when you're out, that's fantastic, because that's what you enjoy. But if you're somebody like me who enjoys taking photographs but not going crazy with your camera, and more so enjoying the experience of just being outdoors, never feel bad for going home without any images or without many images. Take as many or as little images as you want, but most importantly enjoy the experience. It's something that we should all consider, and just do what's right for you. I just wanted to end the video on that positive note, because I think it's one that's very, very important. And we can often get stuck behind the camera and get so worked up about getting the photographs that we forget to enjoy the beauty of nature that's going on around us. And this morning reminded me of that. As always, I want to say a huge thank you for watching. I hope this video showcased how beautiful and how beneficial it is to get out and photograph the same location time and time again, and just enjoy the experience. I look forward to hopefully seeing you all again next time.